you would have seen I posted this chair probably a year ago, and it is fondly known as my garbage chair because I actually found it in hard rubbish. But today we are just going to pull apart the old cushion covers and make some new ones in a fun fabric. So after I pulled all of the cushions apart, these were a bit gross. I gave them a bit of a fabric freshener and let them air out a little bit. And I ironed my pieces flat so that I had a good base to start with. I recovered this chair probably a year ago, and at the time when I was choosing fabric, I just didn't care about its functionality. I was like, this is the fabric I want, this is the fabric I'm getting. And as you can see, it's extremely faded because the fabric I got was not weather resistant. So you can't actually even see the original color. There you go. It was like this. Beautiful. So I have learnt my lesson. And now I have purchased some weather-resistant fabric. I think that would be fun to kind of match the side, which is also honestly a little bit shitty. I'm in two minds of whether or not I paint this. I know that's kind of a sin, but it might work better. Maybe I'll recover it and then you guys can tell me if I should paint it or not. So come with me as we recover this chair for a second time. And yes, I am using shoes as pattern weights because you've got to use what you've got to use. And I spent so long trying to perfectly pattern match this fabric, and I was just overthinking it and not having a good time. You can see here my brain's just like, wait a minute, what? So I flipped it over, I tried again, and ended up just cutting it out. I also cut way too many of these because they were on the fold and I only needed 4. Just showing you that even if you've been sewing for years, you can still make mistakes. Here I am again, contemplating life and how the hell I can pattern match this, even though it is the easiest shape to pattern match. I'm just moving it around again and again and again and trying to find a good placement. But bit of foreshadowing here. Although it looks fabulous at the moment, it didn't actually work out. So look at this. I'm like, wait a minute. Why doesn't this match? I'm confused. What is going on? And then, it just like disappears. Perfect. A handy hint. Don't pull your old thread out. Just chop. Grab your new thread. This is tricky one-handed. And then find your old thread and tie them together. And then pull the old thread through. Take it out of the needle because the knot won't go through. The machine is now rethreaded in your new thread color. I've had a few disasters. I thought this would be a really easy Sunday project because I've done it before. I cut the wrong thing because I was worried about aesthetics. Excuse me, iron. Yes, I wanted it to be aesthetic rather than functional, which I should have learnt my lesson from before, but anyway, just got it wrong. So then now the patterns don't really match. Just went to stitch overlock this because she's very frayed. First of all, it didn't really fit great, so I must have tweaked the pattern last time, but anyway. And about 5 years ago, I lost a screw for my industrial overlocker. So you can see here, this screw I used to replace it because I was in a mad rush, but it didn't actually fit and I ended up snapping the head off. So that screw has been in there for probably 5 years, which means those needles have been in there for 5 years. And you know how like you're like doing something and you think, maybe I shouldn't do that? Yeah, I was sewing here and I saw those metal ends of the zipper and I thought I should stop, but nah, she'll be right. Snap. So now I can't use this machine until I get it repaired, which is like fair enough because I've had this machine and also my industrial straight stitch for probably 10 years. So it's about time that they got some love. I mean, I can clean it out myself, but it's not quite the same as getting a full service. So as you can see, there is no machine here, which is funny because I didn't even know it came out until the guy came and took it. Yeah, so that's really fun. Now, this scissors are holding up the presser foot, and this machine, I got a new feed dog and a new plate, which is good because that was kind of giving me some issues. And I have my machine back. We have to get it through this mess and this mess and put it back over there. You know that in here? Hello, tiny kitty. Too many things in here for you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go. This has to go back in here. And I didn't even know it came out until like 2 weeks ago when the guy came and serviced it and took it. This is just holding the, the chain for the foot pedal. I think one of these has to go in there. Does it matter which one's which? I don't know, man. Got oily fingies. Oh, my fingers. I can't even remember what it looked like. Maybe that is right. I mean, it's... Do you know? Okay, so that's gotta go. Doesn't matter which one. Today I'm in my blanket poncho instead of my dressing gown, a bit different. But we are going to finish those couch cushions. I finally got my overlocker back up and running. We've got new needle in there. Actually had to replace that entire arm, which was a fun experience. Then I got it back without the belts, which is what makes it run. This bad boy, that was also a fun experience. Never done that before, so she's up and running. I just have a lot of stuff in the way, and like a glue gun and a pattern and a ring light. So we'll just quickly tidy up a little bit and then we can get sewing. The pieces, I believe, are under here, and I vaguely remember I messed something up. My pattern is a little bit, so this is not ideal to sew. We can do it. Okay, we are finally done. This chair has had no cushions on it for months. This is the bottom one. It's a little sturdier, and it's also apparently bigger than that one, which I just realized because I tried to put that cover on that cushion, and it was not successful. So this one goes at the back and it looks pretty good. But I did just realize that this pattern is different to this pattern. It should actually be this way. That's fine. It's done. We don't care. I also realized, gee, this one looks really faded. What is going on? Turns out I sewed it inside out. So I guess that's permanently the back cushion because I cannot be bothered doing it again. I'm also having some issues here with how this looks. Like, it feels nice, but it looks like poo. So I don't know if I paint it. It's okay. I'm leaving it at this. Doesn't matter. Done.